JB. It has to deal with Medicare for all. Representative Pramila Jayapal is talking about introducing Medicare for all bill in Congress now that the Democrats don't have any power in the Senate and House because the Republicans ran through in the election of 2024 on November 5th. They got control of the House, the Senate, and the White House. So what does this mean? Now it's a perfect time to talk about Medicare for all and bring in the bill that will go absolutely nowhere. Why would you do this, Democrats? What madness possessed you? Why would you do this at all, period?
Congresswoman, on the 100th day of Trump's presidency, you and Senator Sanders introduced Medicaid for all. What are you hoping to do with this legislation? Does it have any hope, or is this a symbolic move to get the conversation going again?
Well, we introduced Medicare for all, and basically what we've been saying is there are 100 million Americans who are uninsured or underinsured in the richest country in the world. There are literally people, 1 in 3 Americans has medical debt totaling a total of $220 billion of medical debt. And so what we know is that Americans across the country want affordable quality healthcare. And the United States is the only country, industrialized country in the world that does not provide it. In fact, the United States, we spend more on healthcare per capita and have worse outcomes than other countries. So Medicare for all is just saying your government insurance could be covered by Medicare, an expanded, improved Medicare, and everybody would have healthcare, no premium, private insurance premiums, no deductibles, no copays, and you would actually have healthcare from the day you were born to the day you die. It is incredibly popular. 70% of people across America support it, and I think we need to continue to push it out because it is a travesty. It's criminal in my mind that so many people are dying without healthcare in the richest country in the world.
Congresswoman, there is a difference between universal health care and Medicare for all, single-payer health care. So I guess I'm wondering, why is this the road you're going down? Because if we're going to have a Scandinavian-style social safety net, or if for that matter, a Canadian-style one, that requires a Scandinavian-style tax burden, which...
And it comes down to taxes. JB, as someone who's dealt with the healthcare insurance industry, the medical system, I want to give the floor to you.
While it is a tax burden, people talk about when it comes to a public policy, it'd be a tax burden, but they never talk about the private tax burden. Mm-hmm. Because how many people are spending, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700 a month on health insurance? I'll give an anecdotal example. Before my kidneys failed 17 years ago, almost 18 years ago, I avoided going to the doctors because even though I had insurance, I didn't want to have to pay the copay. So I had insurance. So I was what you call underinsured, meaning I had insurance, but I couldn't afford to go to get the copay in order to be able to see the doctor, which means that they wanted me to go get more testing, which would have been more of a copay and all that, right? Mm-hmm. And so then I ended up having to go to the emergency room, and I wound up on dialysis anyway, which something that could have been avoided. I could have probably got a kidney transplant before that, but it never happened. And so my problem with Pramila Jayapal is just exactly what you said in the outset. Where was this bill when Joe Biden was president?
Thank you.
Because they always choose, I'll put it this way, they always choose to jump the hurdle when the wall is 20 feet high. But when the wall is 3 feet high, they don't choose to jump that hurdle. It's supposed to be an easier hurdle to jump if you have a Democratic president. And then if you have a Democrat-controlled Senate and a Democrat-controlled House, it's supposed to be an easier hurdle. So why not do it with them? And also, you knew You knew because on Lawrence O'Donnell's last week tonight, Lawrence O'Donnell actually asked Joe Biden before he became president if Medicare for All was passed in the House and the Senate and it came to your desk, would you sign it? And he said no. Call his bluff. Do it.
Thank you.
Call his bluff. Have it passed in the House, have it passed in the Senate, put it in front of him and let him veto it. And then you go, see that guy? This is why I'm not going to endorse him, because he vetoed Medicare for all of us. But no, they didn't, because they wanted to save his, help him save face. Because they're like, oh, but he's a Democrat. So what? So what?
Mm-hmm.
If he's not willing to do the right thing, then screw him. Get him out of the way. But see, this is how Pramila Jayapal plays the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pramila Jayapal will only wait until there's no possibility of it ever passing, right? Now they have, a Republican-controlled House, a Republican-controlled Senate, and a Republican-controlled White House, and they go, well, see, we're trying to pass it. But in reality, they know it won't pass. And this is what the Democratic Party does every single time. They'll do it when they know it's impossible. But when it actually has possibilities to actually pass, they don't do a damn thing. Because they never wanted it to pass. Because Medicare for All is a fundraising tool so that you donate to their Act Blue. This is exactly the game that's played. Pramila Jayapal is just playing the game right in our faces. And then she thinks that you're too dumb to realize that.
Mm-hmm.
Pramila Jayapal thinks you're an idiot. And so this is how she does it. And AOC will do it. Bernie Sanders will do it, even though he's listed as an independent. He's a Democrat with an I next to his name.
In theory, he's an independent.
Yeah. They all will do it, right? In order to make themselves look like, hey, I put this, I wrote this bill, I put it on the floor. But who had control? You never strike when the iron is hot. You guys always strike when the iron is stone cold. And see, I couldn't shape it. I couldn't shape it because, I tried. But when that iron is hot, oh, well, what hammer? We don't even have a hammer to strike it with. But suddenly you find the hammer when the iron is cooled down.
Yeah.
That's just nefarious. And then this is really people like Pramila Jayapal stabbing you in the back. At least the Republicans will stab you in the front. She's stabbing you in the back. And this is why we talk about walking away from both parties. Because ultimately, right, if she was really about that life, by meaning about that life, it means challenging people in her own party, she would have actually forced the vote. She would have said, I am not voting for Nancy Pelosi until she agrees to a floor vote on Medicare for all. But she ain't about that. She never was.
Well, excuse me. Well, we did ask them for force a vote, and they never did show up. I mean, case in point. I mean, again, let's hear your answer about the taxes.
We do not have here, which there is no appetite for here. Democrats can't even get on board with allowing Trump's tax cuts from 2017 to lapse. I mean, doing something like this, as opposed to many of the other models that exist out there to ensure universal health care, which, as you point out, every other industrialized country has. This is much more expensive and requires much higher taxes.
Well, actually, that's not true. The Congressional Budget Office has come back and done a study of what Medicare for All would cost. And what they've said is it would actually cost significantly less in total expenditures, because you have to remember what people are doing now is they're paying through their copays, through their private insurance premiums. We've even had a lot of businesses come on board, and even labor unions that have negotiated healthcare as part of their bargaining efforts are saying, you know what, we need this other system because it costs so much. And the private insurance companies have generated about $371 billion of profits just in the last decade. So
yeah, but
I think
the
that
CBO, the CBO report, I read the CBO report. It says it would increase the annual costs to the government for Medicare, through health expenditures rather, by $4 trillion. Something has to pay for that.
Well,
even if you seized all of the wealth of all of the billionaires in America one time, that would pay for it for about 1 year.
Well, but the thing is that people are already paying for it. So if they pay,
So let's hold on. JB, take it away.
It seizes all the wealth from the billionaires. Good. Okay. Fine by me. Oh, we don't have any more billionaires. That's party time. All right, let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's dance. Because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Thomas, I'm sorry. Ooh, I can't speak today. Like Thomas Sankara said, would you rather have champagne for a few or clean drinking water for all? Which one would you rather have?
Clean drinking water for all, because water is needed. Champagne, while it's nice, no.
And if you want to get fancy, we'll have clean drinking water in champagne glasses. Okay, but still, clean drinking water for all. Because I'll be damned if I let somebody die just because, oh, well, they don't have enough money because they have to pay, because of our healthcare being paywalled. And so this whole like, oh, well, taxes will go up. Yeah, no, duh, no shit, Sherlock. But the thing is, like, ultimately, it's about what the cost is going to be to American people. You keep focusing on, well, the government's going to be paying this much. The government is a currency issuer. They create the money. So then if people are paying back into the government anyway, then of course that money's not going to be going to the shareholders and the people at the top of these private insurance corporations. That's going to be sucking the money out of the system. So that money's actually going to be recycled back in. And then on top of it, everybody's covered. And I don't know about you, but I would like to have the same health coverage as Jeff Bezos.
Oh, that'd be so nice.
I'm cool with that.
That would be nice if we could actually have health care in which we don't have to worry about going into medical debt, medical bankruptcy, or that there's special programs where only a select few can actually get some life-changing surgery. I mean, look, I want everyone to live. And I'm going to steal this line from Donald Trump. I want everyone to stop dying from easily curable diseases and surgeries. One leading cause of homelessness, again, is medical bankruptcy. So, here we are. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and people need to realize and wake up to reality, wake up to the truth that if we don't find a better way, a better future, we are going to all suffer. We're all going to be put on the chopping block.
I'm going to share this really quick.
Okay, go ahead, JB.
So remember back in February when I went to the hospital?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So of course I got picked up by the ambulance, but not just any ambulance. I got picked up by the fire department, right here at my house.
Okay.
I'm on the hook for $107.43. That's after all the insurance is done. I don't know if you guys can actually see.
We can't. It's too bright. I'm very sorry.
It's too bright. Well, I'm kind of dark, so I gotta.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's $107 from the Orlando Fire Department that I have to pay, right?
$107.
So that being said, I'm on the hook for it. The original amount was $978. Thank God I got Medicare. Thank goodness. But even still, I can't afford this $107. I'm on a fixed income. And so if we actually had, and for me, my price went up. I want a nationalized healthcare system. I say a single payer is a step in the right direction. But even then, a single payer would mean that I don't have to pay anything or very little for ambulance services.
Mm-hmm.
And so imagine how many people would, if we're really talking about inflation and how it's harming working class Americans, then why don't we go at the source and take care of it at the source? But they don't want to, And so this lady, she's really speaking for the insurance companies and saying, well, this is going to cause everybody's taxes to go up. And it's like, okay, would I rather, if I'm paying $500 a month for my health insurance through a private company, and let's say instead my taxes will go up, but instead of me paying $500, I end up paying $100 extra a month, but I still get either just as good or higher quality healthcare. Which one do you think I'm going to do? Right? Because I read Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All bill, as dry as it was, and that thing was like, it was like eating a peanut butter sandwich with no milk to wash it down. That's how dry it was.
Yeah.
Right. But I read the entire bill on my own, and it was comprehensive. And so to say that, oh, well, it's going to make taxes go up, that's kind of a misdirect. Because yeah, the taxes will go up, but it's still going to overall save you money every single month. And according to Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All bill, it actually also caps your prescription drugs at $200 a year. A year. So with that being said, it's a no-brainer. How much money are you each individually paying just for your medications every single month? I'm literally, with my Medicare and Medicare Part B, I'm literally paying more right now than what Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All bill would call for. I'm literally paying more. And my prescriptions are being covered right now. So this is the part where, yeah, Pramila Jayapal, she's being nefarious by doing this at as far as the timing. But that lady in corporate media, she's really, trying to defend the system that we currently have, which is literally killing millions of people. Why is Brian Thompson dead?
Exactly. JB.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, though, I don't really see the purpose of like the Democrats now pushing for Medicare. You think the Republicans are going to grow a heart, the Republican politics? Like, all this is for show. All it is. And the thing is, when Pramila Jayapal or Bernie are on CNN, it's like a form of public humiliation because, okay, you're introducing it onto the floor, but no Republican senator, no House Republican, and no corporate Democrat's going to support it. No, none of them are going to do that. Like, we all know, it's a foregone conclusion. If it does, holy cow, they've been hit by pod people, and that's what happened. That's the only logical explanation. Or either that, maybe we truly are in the Matrix, and somebody decided to reprogram the politicians and maybe be compassionate. I don't know. But here we are with, once again, the Democrat lawmakers, our jagoff politicians, talking about Medicare for all. But when they do have the majority, when they have the presidency, oh, we can't do anything. We're so sorry. Okay, die, poor people, die. Right here.
Yeah.
Anyway, JB, go, JB. Go ahead. I'm going to give you a final word.
Well, no, because the thing is, they had the opportunity to actually do this back in 2008.
Yeah, no, there was with Barack Obama, but the thing is, Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, Romney Care, never had a public option. There was a talk about public option. They were never going to do it. And even then, with the Democrats, with all their power, like, to anyone who thinks that the Democrats are actually effective when they have the majority, they're only effective behind closed doors to help out Wall Street. That's who they're going to help out.
That's true.
That's what they're going to do. So it's simple as that. 1, 2, 3. With that being said, I'll go ahead, JB. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Did you have one other thing you want to add in there?
Can you imagine if Barack Obama was if he was as zealous about single payer healthcare in 2008 as Bernie Sanders was in 2016? We would have had single payer healthcare back in 2000, probably by 2010. We probably would have single payer healthcare.
Probably would have. Maybe we would have. Maybe we wouldn't. Who knows? But yet here we are.
At least we would have tried.
Yeah. At least, if Obama was what so many people propagandized him to be, things would be different. But the thing is, don't put your faith or stock into any politician. You'll be
True.
gravely disappointed.
Yep.